Yo, yo, what it do? All right. I just kind of wanted to take a blind look at the Heroes Siege patch notes for season 10. I played it. I played a good amount of season 9, and I hadn't really played much before that. At least the ARPG version of the game, because it used to be like a roguelike that I actually played, and then they completely changed it to an ARPG. But season 9 was pretty good, honestly. I got to like hero level 75 or something like that on Bard with like the flicker build, basically. I forgot what the pyrotechnic, whatever it's called, and it was pretty fun. Got to like Inferno, whatever. Um, so I might try it again. I probably the release date's here, August 21st. Colors are inverted because it's forced dark mode, but I would have left it light mode, but I know most people don't like that. And if, yeah, anyway. Um, but here we are. Yeah. I don't know if I can. Yeah, so the patch is coming out August 21st, which is in a little over a week, right? Um, that's pretty cool. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have because I got other stuff to do, but I might play it chill. I went pretty hard on the launch last time. Launch day was a kind of a mess. Servers were yeah, they were a little questionable to say the least, but I mean it was fun still. And I pushed pretty quick and everything, and it was kind of fun. And that was really my first time league starting in Hero Siege at all. And I mean, I played it for practice before that, just to get like kind of a little bit of knowledge before going to season 9. So I played through on a couple characters, at least till like hell difficulty. But then I actually played the league, and it was chill. I really liked, the passive tree, right? The hero point tree, whatever it's called, and the ether tree and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think those were really good additions. You know, they were cool. You could actually like make some cool builds and stuff. Um, Hopefully they change hero level growth because that was pretty slow, and it kind of killed a little bit of my interest because all I wanted to do was just you know try cool stuff with my build, and it just took forever to level at a certain point, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't really care. So hopefully they change that. Now, let's just get into it. I haven't read this stuff. I saw one video just briefly talking about some stuff, but I know they haven't. I think they said, or it was somewhere in that video, I think was that basically they put an NDA on the beta. So actually, unlike last time where there was so much info out there, like literally everyone who was in the beta was putting out, videos and info about, all the changes and all that kind of stuff. Which honestly I don't really like because then it's just everything's solved already. But this time they didn't do that. Now there's still a beta, and there were still people who had access to the beta who obviously have information, but they're obviously not allowed to share it, which I guess is better than nothing. But yeah, and I'm thinking maybe I'll try hardcore this time. We'll see. But anyway, so they added a new act apparently, and they folded in Act 8, I guess, into the core game. Yeah, here, which I did have this, so hopefully they give something out for people who bought it. I think it was a little silly that it was paid for anyway, but I mean, I got it. It wasn't that expensive, and it was cool just to play through it anyway. Um, right, and I think it came with the Jotun class anyway. But that's cool to see. So yeah, let's see. So Act 9 has been added to the game. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so you have to be Odin in Act 8. Um, yeah, we decided to stop adding paywall content. This is pretty huge. monetization change, and I'm assuming most classes are gonna slowly move towards free. I don't know if they're releasing a new class this season like they did last time, and maybe new classes will be paywall, but it says they stopped adding paywall content. I don't know what they mean by content, if the classes are included in that, but obviously down here we see Marauder, Plague Doctor, Shield Lancer, Jotun are now part of the base game, which leaves what like Bard, Stormweaver, Illusionist, uh Prophet. Is that it? There might be another class or two. Oh, EXO, yeah, EXO and something, who knows. Anyway, there's a few classes that are a handful of classes that are still paid for, but I'm assuming those will roll over eventually. Um, yeah, so this expansion has come free. That's pretty cool. I wonder if they're trying to get out 10 acts in the game. I don't know. I mean, this is cool. We'll see what how this impacts like Nightmare and like what's it called, the Hell and Inferno difficulties and stuff. That'll be interesting. I mean, hopefully they decide to change that mechanic because I think it's a little dated, right? The whole Diablo 2, like just redo the campaign at harder difficulties. It's like kind of whatever. So hopefully they move. Maybe they have some ideas in the future about like more fleshed out, like dedicated endgame system. We'll see. I don't think their endgame system is bad by any means. Um, but it's not like I don't know. It'd be cool if there was like new stuff, in the endgame, and not just the same like campaign layouts. Would be the only thing really. I mean, there are bosses and stuff that are different, right? And mechanics and things like that. So, and like the satanic zones and the codexes and all this kind of stuff. So, although some of that stuff is a little out of reach for a lot of players, right? We'll see. Anyway, supporter packs, cool. 3 new Uber bosses. I don't know. I mean, I guess these are part of the Act 9, but usually there's only like one main boss, for the act. So I wonder what like are these going to be like I'm assuming at least one of these is going to be part of the act. And then maybe the other two are extra content or like kind of Gabriel status stuff. I don't actually know. We decided to go with a bold move, removing Nightmare. That's kind of big, from the game so that 1 to 100 happens during the first play through on normal, which when completed turns into default Nightmare. To this, you unlock hard difficulty before Inferno. Hard. Like hell? We've added countless side zones into every act to prolong the progression of the whole game. Act 9 fits here perfectly as the end of your... What the heck? Okay, so did they extend the entire campaign so that it's 1 to 100 for the full campaign? That's not bad, though. Because before it was what? You do normal, then you do nightmare. And then you're 100, right? Something like that. And then once you get into hell, then it's like, okay, now you're leveling your hero levels and stuff. Some questions have been modified for better flow, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yep, free stuff. We now have an AFK system to deal with players sitting AFK and taking up server slots. Potentially causing unnecessary queues. Remain AFK for 45 minutes. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully that helps the server issues because there was so many server issues last on the League launch. And I don't know exactly what the cause of those were, if it was some overload or just I mean, I think it was their biggest update ever, right? So probably stuff with that. Rewrote data handling back end code with skills collision monsters, massive increase in combat FPS. Yeah, I think there are a lot of FPS problems, right? I didn't really have too many on my build, but I know certain builds definitely struggle with that, especially like the Giga Proj builds and stuff. Eliminate climb projectile collisions, which should make multiplayer almost indistinguishable from solo play. Okay. I never played multiplayer, but I know it was pretty laggy comparatively because there's like, way more stuff on the screen. Optimize monster AI coding handling. Okay, cool. Um, Remade monster Pathfinder from scratch monsters are now less performance expensive, more aggressive, and do not get stuck or bugged out. More aggressive. I wonder how that plays. The monsters weren't. I mean, they were fairly aggressive before. Like they would aggro from a decent range, right? But they wouldn't necessarily all of them move that fast. I mean, there's only certain mob types that are actually dangerous anyway, right? Zone generation loading is now very fast. Okay, cool. We'll see if all this is true. That's pretty sick though. Hopefully that works. Max stash tab is now 20. I mean, yeah, I guess you want to buy more. Maximum skill incarnation is now 8. Yeah, again, I think that's a paid thing. Paid tarot card inventory. Okay, 4. Free relic storage tab in your inventory, which can be used to swap relics to relic holy grail by collecting every relic in the game. Level 10. That's kind of cool though. So now you can basically collect every relic. You can use a swap. You can swap your relics whenever you want. That's pretty sick. Because there are a lot of times where it's just like, oh, you have to give up a relic that you've leveled already just because, you want to change your playstyle a little bit. Maybe you want to get more like Magic Find or something, or like, you know, whatever, right? Or like, you know, yeah, you decide to swap your stuff out. So this will be pretty nice. And it's free, which is good. This stuff is being paid is fine. I mean, honestly, you can play the game with just like the basic stash bundle that they have on the store. That's what I did. And the game's already cheap enough as it is, like it's fine. This is basically how PoE monetizes, right? It's not necessarily the most friendly, but it's better than paywalling freaking campaign, right? 100 new nodes Ether tree. Okay, that's a lot. 600 new nodes to incarnation tree. That's crazy. This tree was already pretty big, especially when you consider the fact that like, you know, I mean, realistically, you could get as many hero levels as you want, right? I guess making it bigger makes sense, but it wasn't small, and a lot of it felt fairly meaningful. I don't know. I really only played melee, so I can't really speak to anything but the southeast part of the or like left right side of the tree rather, the strength side of the tree. Um, but that's pretty sick. I think these two are like the main reasons why I decided to check out the game to begin with in terms of the RPG uh version of the game. Because yeah, it's cool. Passive tree is cool, you know. Mechanics. Okay. APFX and pitching dimensions be added a random apex pool for satanic plus chaos pillars instead of 100%. Okay. Whoa. I wonder what the yeah, okay. Let's guess a nerf? No. I don't know. Both Tourney Codex and Infernal Tourney Codex now have stacks instead of time. How many times you can clear a codex zone? Stacks removed every time you or your party members enter the zone. One stack per reset or refresh game or fresh game. So before the way that the codex worked, right, is that you would be like 30 minutes. The zone would be open for like 30 minutes, right? You basically just try to run it as many times as you can. But now it's like got charges and it uses a charge every time you reset. That's pretty good. I think that's really good actually. Because that's the problem, right? Is like it felt really bad to try to run these or even craft them because like you could just sell the materials and like if you didn't want to play like hyper optimal or maybe your build wasn't like that insane and obviously it was just better to do in groups, right? So now this makes it so that you don't feel bad for clearing it and actually there's like I guess how does it so you or party members, so that means party members consume charges too. So group play is actually kind of nerfed with that, no? Because you need more codexes now because they run out faster the more people you play with. So that's I think that's good. That's pretty big change. Hopefully they're easier to access too. I feel like the problem with these codexes is that like I don't know, I mean, once you get to Inferno, they're not like terribly rare. I don't know, it just never felt like to me, I don't know. I'm not like it just to me as like somewhat of a new player, I just was like never really that interested in running them because it didn't really seem like it was worth it. But maybe it'll be better now. You can now use a new codex if the existing one is active. It will overwrite the old one. Okay, does that mean the old one just gets deleted? So match find roll nerfs from. Oh, this is on the codex. Okay, extra. Okay, so they nerfed the codex rolls. Pretty significant too. 1 to 3 down to 1. And magic find down like pretty substantial amount. Like more than 50% less at the top end, right? Yeah. Okay. Incarnation. Oh, that's the hero tree, right? Incarnation tree. You now search incarnation nodes with name and skill like Plague of Rats, and it will highlight if the node is compatible. That works. That's cool. I want so like you can type in like a skill that cares about like projectiles, and it'll like Fist of the Heavens or whatever. Is that what it's called? The Paladin one, and it'll show all like the proj and the arcane damage stuff. I'm guessing that's pretty sick. Optimize incarnation tree pathing. Yeah, because it had auto pathing, right? Had new links, and it wasn't the best. New links for shorter routes for certain areas. Okay, that's pretty huge. Okay. AoE big radius nodes by 20%. Unarmed got nerfed hugely again. This is already nerfed in the patch. Like in season 9 it got nerfed like a couple patches after launch. I mean it was pretty strong. That's what I played. But this is just like unplayable now, no? 150 to 20%. Unless they added like other stuff to support it. That's just unplayable now. Because the problem is like you need this. Maybe not this. Like they probably could have dropped it at 125 or something. I don't know, or done something with the scaling elsewhere. But like you lose a weapon, right? Like you don't get to use a weapon. Actually, you don't get to use a weapon. You use a shield. I can't remember if you could use it offhand. I thought you could, but then maybe they changed it to where you couldn't. Either way, you're at least giving up your weapon, which is massive. So this needs to at least make up for that, and it really should be able to scale beyond that, right? Otherwise, what's the point? And then AoE nerfs on top of that, because most of these builds will need AoE, right? Most melee builds and stuff. Pretty big. And there's a lot of AoE stuff nearby. Um, all resistance nodes. That's kind of big too. It's pretty hard to get res. Felt like our weakness, negative res convert damage. A lot of nerfs. Flat damage reduction. That's pretty big. I feel like flat damage reduction falls off pretty hard, right? So this is pretty substantial as well. Because 150 was already like fine. It wasn't crazy, I felt like. Uh, Power mana. Probably deserved. Mana stacking is too OP. Um, that was also kind of deserved, I think. This is interesting. Now enables dual wielding of polearms and claws. There's some good claws. I don't remember about polearms though. I'd have to look. Definitely early game though, there's good claws. But do you really want to take a weapon over a shield? I don't know, maybe. Maybe if you're like casters, because there's some decent casting like spell stuff. I don't know. I have to check what actual weapons are there. Uh yeah. Magic stuff nerf deserved. Caster nerfs deserved. Risky hunting nerf. That's a lot of nerfs. I want there's no buffs though. At least not on the tree. But I guess they did add what? 600 new nodes, which is kind of nuts. So maybe some of those are good. But this is tragic though. Like that's dead. I don't see a world where that's ever playable unless they added like other unarmed support. That's pretty on top of the AoE nerfs. That's pretty big. Like kind of giga. Holy. All right. Okay, this is like the Atlas tree stuff. Okay, that's nice QOL. You can actually see what needs to be completed. I mean, yeah, did you see this before? I don't even remember if you could see that before or not. In game, I mean. You must have been able to, but it might not have been as easy as planned. Uh, Lower reset cost per node. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, respecking strats was a little pricey, right? It wasn't like exorbitant, but it was fine. But this is much better, obviously. Ore nodes, some mining node, spectacle nodes. Okay, what? Ore goblins can now only be summoned from mining nodes if spec'd into the node. No more natural ones. Oh, so you can't get ore goblins ever unless you spec them. I mean, I guess that like incentivizes you to actually what's it called? Actually spec the nodes, you know, and like makes them more impactful. Because honestly, like I never spec'd into these ore goblin nodes, and I did do a fair bit of mining stuff or like ore gathering, whatever, at the beginning, because it's not bad early on. No battlefield buffed, or the node. This node is buffed. I can't. What does this node do? I don't even remember. Buffed, buff. Okay. No longer works in Codex Rift Zone. Okay. Yeah, I mean these were good though. No, Eternal Battlefield and Civil Rift. Like you could easily farm these for like fragments and stuff. Like already they were like not bad. So you know this is only positive, right? Nerf Chaos Key drop chance by 50%. Didn't they do something? They did this, and now they have like all these chaos. Rare plus chaos now have a chance to drop Destiny shards. 50% chance to add to the randomized pool of modifiers. To be added. Okay. So basically, there's a you can roll the 15% chance to drop Destiny shards now on Rare Plus. Okay. Now a chance to drop Gypsy Prophecies. That's pretty good. 8% though. Prophet's Wisdom, Help Plus, Satanic Dice. I mean, so they're trying to make Chaos Pillars a little bit better, but they're also nerfing the key drops and stuff. That's kind of unfortunate, I think, for like a lot of people, because I felt like this was just easy money. If you're in trade, Chaos Keys are like, like it's just passive income, right? If you're not using them. because you get tons of chaos keys and you can sell them for a fair amount. So that'll definitely do something. It'll also up the value of them, right? So maybe it doesn't really matter, I think. I don't know if this is enough to actually make them better though. Like, would I use the chaos keys myself now instead? Maybe. I mean, Gypsy prophecies are good. Like these items are good, right? Like especially if you're doing like SSF or something. Obviously, that's really nice, but in general, dying to a boss no longer gives experience penalty. I mean, that good. I feel like that's a little cringe because now it's like you have no penalty to for dying, so like you just go full glass cannon or what? I mean, I guess you still lose XP for dying in zones, just not to a boss. Native borderless window support added. Okay, cool. Add text outline is removed. Right front. Okay, better readability. Yeah. Player life scaling. Oh, monster per player life. Okay, sure. That's like multiplayer. This is multiplayer nerf. Increase monster per player life scaling from. Okay. So basically, in multiplayer, monsters are tankier. I never played multiplayer anyway. All chests are now visible on the mini map. That's kind of nice, QO. Uh, yeah, I know there's some strategies that involve like driving chests and stuff, right? So that would be nice if that's what you care about. It might actually just be better, like just an actual strat now that's more reasonable because you can like rush the chest and stuff. Lowered experience needed curve for hero level. Okay, wait, experience needed what? Is a typo. Lower the experience needed curve for hero level by 8.3%. So is this like the entire hero level curve? Like, I mean, that's big. Hero levels were, I mean, it says lowered, right? So I'm assuming it's basically just saying like on average 8.3% less XP per level or something. Yeah, hero levels definitely took too long after like a certain point. Like it was kind of annoying. Buff the amount of ore dropped. And I feel like hero level is where the game gets fun, you know, because then you can actually like customize your build more with the tree and everything. Um, Added 24 new achievements to get to hero level. What? Okay, cool. New achievements. Get to hero level 50. Okay. Oh, just achievements. Yeah, cool. Oh, this is for Odyssey. Okay, that's like the SSF, right? Odyssey. I think so. Add diminishing returns to deadly blow after 50% with a power 0.75. What? Well, okay. Well, were there no diminishing returns before? 'Cause I was definitely stacking deadly blow higher than 50% before. But I don't actually know if there. I mean, this is just. This is. I mean, I guess it kind of decentivizes you from stacking too much. I don't actually know much how different this is gonna be because it's not like deadly blows were like that important to. I don't know. Like you want it on your character, right? You're playing like melee phase stuff. Diminishing return faster cast rate, deserved. Diminishing returns for spells, deserved. Lifesteal is now divided to 2 seconds, up from 1.25 seconds. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where like you're just gonna have to play it and see how it feels. I mean, it's obviously a nerf, but like, does it really matter that much? I don't know, right? It's like hard to say. At a certain point, like your character was strong enough to like not really take much damage anyway, and like you basically healed everything. Damage return is now flat, and there is an added. Is this a word? Percentual stat? Is that a word? Uh, I guess. That's fun. I've never heard that. I mean, it makes sense, but much like elemental skills have. Okay. Does anyone care about damage return? Is this? I mean, this should be good, right? Because you get flat and then you get added scaling. I'm assuming this stat wasn't there before. I don't actually know because I never played with that. Um, have the movement speed converted to damage stat ranges in common. Oh, on common items. That's fine. I mean, this was a good stat, right? It was on the tree too, but this is just says on commons. So I'm assuming it only affects common items. Extra gold from monster kills no longer has diminishing return in Odyssey game mode. Okay, we care about that, sure. You can now use most skins with most weapon types. It's kind of cool. I wonder if this did they add like custom skins per each weapon type, or is it just like the weapon just works? You know, like you put on like a claw and it can use a sword skin and it just looks like a sword, or is there like a claw version of the sword skin? You know what I mean? I don't know. Cool though. Zones filled empty areas with assets to make zones more rich and vibrant. I guess that's just a visual change. I don't know, mailbox in every town, that's pretty huge. I don't have to portal back to freaking Act 1 every time. Regular monster packs now have 5 static chance to double the pack's size. Huh. Is that just like every time you reload the zone, there's like a chance that a regular mod pack can just have their pack size doubled? That's kind of cool. I wonder how much you'll actually see that in the end game though. Like you're just constantly resetting zones, right? But there's not that many regular monster packs at a certain point, right? So I don't know. It'll be good for leveling though, right? But it also might make some builds a lot weaker. But it's only 5%, so it's probably fine. Probably doesn't matter. You might just get a little bit more XP here and there. Nerf Dragon Ball, this is big, dude. This thing does so much damage. This mob. This mob did so much damage, I swear. Freaking fire breath attack. I'm assuming that's what this is. Projectile flames, yeah. Monsters spawn from monsters no longer pop effects from codexes. That's interesting. Could you force certain mob types though? I don't think so, right? Like, I mean, I guess certain zones were better because they had these like mob that spawn more mobs. But I guess that's yeah. I mean, I guess that's nice. Like balance for top end juice. Sure. Items. Heretics now have 1 in 99 chance drop. Okay. So they're just divine cards are just like turbo giga ultra rare now. Orb of Doom there. Chance to spawn legions from 3 to 1%. What? I mean, they just keep nerfing these legion mobs, no? Were they still good? Because they nerfed them last patch too, no? Um, Orb Angel buff chance dropped to 4%, or buff to 4%. 4%, 7%. Okay, these are buffs. I mean, I guess this kind of coincides with the codex change, right? Like, the orbs are more valuable now, but theoretically, you have less codex runs, right? Because before it was all about clear speed, right? You could theoretically clear the codex zones as fast as possible and get as many rotations out, but now it's like fixed them out, right? So I guess this is more of like a compensation buff for that. But then they nerfed the Legion thing, so this is probably not even worth using now at all, which means it'll be less valuable in trade and all that, right? Common with normal enhanced damage now adds 2 additional rolls that can increase enhanced damage by 50%, which then can increase the enhanced damage by additional 50. Okay. Well, that would be nice for leveling, right? More damage. As long as these rolls are good, right? Because they're diluting the pool, but at the same time, it's like, if it's damage, then who cares, right? Added VA to Essence Drop Vault tool to, okay. I don't even know what that means, but sure. You can now star level and forge charms. That's kind of nuts, no? There's some pretty OP charms. That's pretty big. That means charms are gonna be even more giga than before. I feel like charms were like really the end game case, right? Outside of a few like turbo angelics and stuff and heroics or whatever. It's like pretty much all the good stuff were like the angelic charms and all that kind of stuff, right? Destiny shards can now be used to level up Satanics up to S tier. Okay. Okay, cool. Chiponia slightly rarer. This is interesting because that means the items that come from this place are going to be more valuable and also rarer, which is in some cases good for like the Giga ones, like the Steve Charm, right? That just gave you like freaking ton of attributes. Um, but then stuff like the sword and things like that, which were basically only good early game, are kind of untargetable now. Maybe depends on how rare they are, right? Nerf profits wisdom drop rates by 20%. That's kind of big. And that sounds big. I don't know how big that actually is, but I mean, didn't they add these? Didn't they buff the drops in somewhere else, or was it the chaos pillars? Yeah. So I mean, I guess there's a way to kind of target farm them a little better, but I guess the general drops just got nerfed. Reflection of Tarthiel now copies the original items level and Satanic Crystal Craft. Okay. Common items now show the roll range for sockets. These items can no longer be dropped from Luna Quest. No Phelps from Luna. The other ones are kind of whatever, right? Like some of these, like you don't really care about necessarily dropping them. I mean, it really only matters like for a fraction of the people who just get turbo lucky on like dropping a Phelps or something. You now combine 3 internal codex pages with an existing infernal codex. Okay. You can now combine 5 codex of eternities in order to craft an infernal codex. Okay, so you can get theoretically we can get better codexes easier, right? Kind of. 200 greater unstable dust with 1 Satanic crystal in order to create a new essence of chaos. What does this do? I don't even remember. Was this in the game before? Prospecting S tier Satanics now randomly gives you Gypsy's Prophecy Fragment or Blacksmith's Mallet Fragment. That's pretty big. This is big for just Satanic Zone spam, right? Like just basically just running Satanic Zones with like high MF. Just for like the in like Inferno or whatever, just for drops and stuff. And you just sell the drops. But now you can actually prospect your S tier Satanics for like these fragments, which are both of these are really good. This is like huge for like end game, right? Prospecting SS tier now randomly gives you 4x Satanic dice fragments, mallet fragments. Okay, so maybe these might not be worth doing Depends on the chance, right? But these are definitely worth doing because you can get Satanic Dice Fragments. I'm assuming, it's 4x, right? The prospecting SS tier stuff is good because before it's like, what, you just sell them for a little gold? Because they're pretty much worth nothing after a couple days, right? If you're talking about trade league, you can now prospect gems to downgrade them. Okay, that's cool, I guess. It's like QL if you accidentally upgraded them too much and you don't want to for some reason. Whatever. Not bad. Item changes. Um, Gas Walker is nerf. I'm just gonna skim through this and see if there's actually any items that I care about. Soulforge Ring. Changed increase experience gain stat 12% to increase experience gain below level 100. What? 25%. That's kind of giga. Because this was like a pretty big boost. Like getting this early was like huge, right? Like this is basically the first thing you want to push for once you get to the point where you can actually do the quest. And the quest wasn't like the easiest thing to do. It was, I mean, it was easy, but it just took time, right? You just had to grind it out, grind out the pages and stuff. Just like killing the bosses over and over. Which honestly, on some of the bosses took a while. Like I went over odds on like multiple bosses. That might have just been me though. Soulforge, but that's huge though because this impacts like hero level stuff, no? And even though they buff the hero level XP curve, I wonder how much this impacts. I mean, it's 12%. That's pretty decent though. And now it's like, I wonder if they made this quest easier or something. I don't know. Because what are the odds that people are actually going to be getting this ring below level 100? I mean, I guess that you can, right? Maybe. Anyway, that's the authority, kind of big. Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're nerfing quite a few things. Percent strength, GG strength stack. I mean, this is fine. There are other items that can give you this, but just -1. This is like early game too, I think, right? Chase zones. Okay, they change a bunch of zone stuff for some of the items, I guess. It's not bad. Change up the farm spots. Honestly, that's chill. Uh, yeah, that's fine. I mean, now it's just you just form a different zone, right? Golf zone changed. Act 8. Most of the Act 8 zones are chill if you want to farm that. Belt of Skulls changed. Also, Avenger changed. This one is good. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you care about farming these, I mean, a lot of these are pretty low drop chance anyway, so good luck getting them, but at least you get to farm a new zone, I guess. Um, okay, new items. Add a gem or incarnation, a randomly generated gem. It can be added into okay, more gem stuff. I guess maybe this is like a new chase gem because there. I mean, most of the time you just care about your like rare gems and stuff, right? Like randomly rolled ones. Oh, this sounds like a maybe like an actual Satanic Gem or Angelic, whatever the heck. Fear Gem. Randomly generated gem can only be added to the, yeah, so it only works on Incarnation Tree. That's cool. Hopefully it does something cool though. I wonder what they mean by randomly generate. Like, is it just like random generate stats, but it only applies to the Incarnation Tree? But then how is it different from the old gems, right? Like new charm, new amulet. These are obviously from like the that one Uber boss that they added, right? Captain Grimtide or whatever. Grimtide necklace. Skeleton crew band. So these might be okay, depending on if they're like the Uber drop or not. I'm assuming most of these are Uber drops, or like boss drops. New potion, new socketable, Cthulhu's soul gem. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the new socketables are cool because they didn't really have much in terms of like chase socketables or like special ones, right? New shield could be cool. There were only like what, like 2 or 3 shields that were worth using anyway. Um, for like literally every build almost. So hopefully this one's good. Cool, cool. All right, let's see classes, bro. This is really where the hiccup is. Okay, there's a few. There's a few. A lot for Amazon. Okay, general. You can now choose separate skill effects from another skin if you wish. So use skill effects from skin X and have the character use skin model Y. So you can like mix and match your skill effects now. I mean, cool, I guess, if you have skill effects you want to use. Um, yeah, that's cool. Um, let's see. All right. All right. Okay. So fixed projectile modifier loading system improve FPS. They said that earlier. That should be big. Teleport now has charges and internal cooldown that replenish charges low. Teleport abusers nerfed. Deserved. Um, Fix optimize hundreds of broken nodes for all classes and skills. Huge. Yeah, I feel like a lot of node, like who knows, right? Who knows what nodes actually worked or not? Some of them just felt like they didn't really do that much. It's kind of hard to test some of them. So hundreds, they say hundreds. There was what, like over 1,000 on the tree, so probably a good chunk of them didn't even work, right? Buffed attack damage from this is Marksman Vault. I never played Marksman, so I actually know if this is like good or not. Multi-shot was good though, right? Multi-shot arrow Nova. Fix the reduced projectiles part and nerf the Nova arrow amount from 4 to 2. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Um, oh, but it added 2 default projectiles. So it gets +2 base, but -2 on the Nova. I don't actually know what this skill does, so I couldn't tell you if that's good or not. Anchor swing, nerf the range per point. GG. I know that was a fairly popular build, I think. Cloud of Sand. Okay, big. This could be good. This is a travel skill for Nomad. Added physical damage scaling to the skill. Okay. Well, proc spells like Spell Echo or an action proc now just spawns an additional cloud and no longer teleports you into the cloud. Hey, I mean, I guess Nomad's like untouched then, pretty much, because this doesn't matter. Which means the early levels still suck. But once you get Sand Gush, it's pretty good, right? Pipe Bombs, never played this class. But I mean, Movement Diminish. Kind of annoying, no? Projectile Tag. I mean, adding tags to stuff is pretty good, right? Because now you can actually scale with projectiles stuff. That's pretty huge. Uh, okay, I guess one of the synergies changed. Again, never played this, so I don't really know how that shakes out. Moon Menace now gives 4.5 cast rate. Whatever, Changeless Slash. Damage buff there, damage buff here. This was a good skill, right? Throw Chainsaw. First contact with a monster. That sounds pretty significant if it wasn't like that before. The Necromancer was pretty trash, no? I'm not a minion player, but this thing was pretty bad. A Virulent Blink added stacks to the teleport. Oh, they just added the stack mechanic to the teleport. So does this apply to all teleports and not just teleport like those, the it's like literally like even like Stormweaver stuff, like 'cause that's kind of huge if they did that. That's kind of funny. I wonder if they just didn't. I mean, most classes had access to something like a teleport anyway, and you could always get it, if you didn't, with like a relic or, you know, armor piece or whatnot. 75% splash damage for these minions. I mean, that's probably good, right? I mean, who cares about minions, to be fair? But, oh, wait, this is big though. Holy Shock Aura, swapped concentrated aura node with Rupturing Lightning. Is, I mean, yeah, I'd have to double check the tree on that. Doesn't, I don't know if this matters too much. Concentrated aura. This is like within the skill thing, right? Probably fine. I mean, just changes how you spec your points a little bit. Yeah. Bone Spirit. Okay, honestly, I don't care about minions, I'm not gonna lie. Thunder, Fury, Storm's Wisdom. Maximum amount of points decreased from 3 to 2. Why? Okay. I feel like Amazon was bad. I mean, maybe this is good though, right? Maybe this is actually good because you just don't have to invest as many points into it, right? I don't know. Well, let's see. Thunder Fury, Thunder Leap. First points now give 3 projectile bounces, while the second, third point give 1 projectile bounce each. Damage nerfed. From 35 per point to 30. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, change third century poison remains to increase poison damage by 15 per point. Yeah, does that change anything though? I feel like the skills on Amazon are just clunky. And they're just way like you actually have to aim a lot of them. Like this one, for example, is like kind of clunky, right? Because it's got like the this is the one with like the triple hit, right? I mean, yeah, it's more damage. Sure. Cosmic Spirit, change second, third synergy, Venom, Jungle Camouflage, increase point of damage. That's pretty big, right? Increase point damage by 25% on in Venom, 15% on Jungle Camouflage. I mean that's substantial damage. Caustic Arc added proc chance and damage scaling. See, this is good though. Proc chance is really good, right? And damage scaling, of course. I mean, sounds good on paper. Toxic Fortune, first point now gives 10%, second point and third point give 5 each. Maximum amount of points decrease from 5 to 3. I can't even remember what this does, I'm not gonna lie. But that sounds like a nerf, but also less point investment, and the first point gives more, so I don't know if maybe this balances out. Not sure. Storm Dash removed hard lock, attack speed, and added stacks. Well, that's gonna be good, or no? I didn't even know there was a hard lock to attack speed on this skill. And then they added stacks. So did they just add stacks to every travel skill? Because here it just says teleport, but that's just general teleport, right? But then there, well, I don't know. We'll see. Death from above. Save habit no longer requires isolation for the AoE radius, only for the damage. That's good for clear if you care about this skill for clear, which I don't know if you do. Now is AoE tag. Okay, you get more tags is always better, right? Just more scaling vectors. But they did nerf AoE on the tree, so yeah. Different above, Storm Series now follows the nearest monster. This is kind of huge. This is what I mean by like Amazon was like giga clunky before, right? Because you had stuff where it's like you have to aim your proj, even when you get like the good like the procs and stuff, right? It doesn't all, but this is big because now it's like it just has like it just follows the monster, so it's like chill. Is now an attack with spell and range tags? Wait, what? That's kind of whack. I mean, yeah, more tags are always good, right? Was it an attack before? I don't even remember. I don't remember. Toxic remains, added AoE and spell tags, that's good. Yeah, I mean, these are a lot of changes for Amazon, right? Did they make Amazon free to play? I think they did, right? I don't know, I had her before anyway. Bro, Amazon was the class that I played back when this game wasn't even an ARPG. Probably one of the more fun ones too. Fire totem stuff for this fire totem one. Buff damage, buff proc chance. Yeah, I don't know. I've never played Shaman. I heard he was good, but kind of clunky. I'm not sure what the totem playstyle is like in this game, but okay, White Mage, increase cast proc rate. Okay. Yeah, I never saw anyone using this. Mana Orb is disgusting though. Okay, they nerfed the conversion. That's actually huge. 5%. I mean, it's still good. Like the mana scaling and stuff, or like the energy scaling, like yeah, just the mana stack stuff or whatever is like huge. So I don't think it's bad. It's not bad. It's just nerfed, which is kind of deserved. Soul Spurn Harvest. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Probably deserved. Bounce grenade now bounces, unleashing AoE hitbox, dealing damage to monsters. Bounces now unleash an AoE hitbox, dealing damage to monsters. That's actually insane, no? Isn't Marauder becoming free as well? It is. Bro, Marauder angle. I know Marauder early was pretty rough, but this is massive, right? It's like Peaconk or something, of bouncing now, right? It's pretty giga. Shield Lancer. This is also going free. I might try this class in hardcore or Marauder maybe. Glorious Strike, swap Radiant Glory node with Jousting Master. Shield Slam, swapped Radiant Strikes node. Okay, so there's some node changes. I have to take a look at the of those skill trees to actually determine what that impacts, but Glorious Adjusting Master buff 15% to 37.5%. What is that? What the heck? That's crazy, bro. What? Like 60, 75% nerf, no? Or buff, I mean. Max amount of points decreased. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind. Actually, no, this is big though, because you just requires. Well, wait, how does this work out? Surgeon is 15 per point 5, right? So now it's 37, but you only get 2. I'll have to calculate on this one. Uh, 15. Okay, it's literally the same, except it's just better. It's just better because you just get freaking 3 points back on both of these. That's actually huge, no? Like, that's actually crazy. I mean, it's pretty big. Points are pretty important. The Jotun, Chilling Frost, nerf damage, scaling, nerf damage. Okay, Jotun's dead. Did anyone play any skill other than Orb of Frost on this guy? This is ridiculous nerf too. Is this real? Is this not a typo? Like, what are these nerfs? That's insane. Was it actually good before? Like, it was good, but it wasn't that good, right? And it was also bugged, right? Like unplayably bugged. Not in a good way. Nerf damage scaling from 40 to 10. Hello? Fix age proliferation issue that caused empty casts when playing with a controller, okay? So somehow this illusionist didn't get touched. Like, literally at all. Okay. This was like meta, no? This is like the probably most played class? Maybe not, because it's a paid class, right? Slicing throw initial damage buffed. That's a big buff. The heck? 40% buff? Or like plus 40%? Furious Strike. Absolute unit. Nerfs fire damage from 15 per what the heck? No longer works. Is this good? I don't actually know if anyone cares about this. Does this matter? This sounds like it makes a difference. There might have been some weird unintended thing going on there. Stormweaver. Please tell me this is dead. Please tell me this character is nerfed. How about characters that need a nerf? They're not gonna nerf it though, because it's paid class, bro. 15% proc chance. Why don't they tell us what it was before? Buff damage scaling. Buffed. What do you mean buff? Lightning Surge, Storm Summoner, nerf proc chance 3 to 1%. Nerf damage scaling 25 to 15 per point. Okay, huge. Can also now only proc once per projectile. Huge. Giga Lightning Surge nerf. Big. That's actually that's good. That's huge. It's actually crazy nerf, no? Proc chance from 1 to 3, and it can only proc, or 3 to 1, and it can only proc once per projectile. Holy. Chain Lightning now has 80% proc chance and damage increase. Okay. So basically they want people to stop playing Lightning Surge and try other skills, right? Which is fair. I mean, this skill is cool, but Gateway now has charges. Yeah, this is a teleport. And an internal cooldown that replenishes the charge. Yeah, I don't know what this looks like. Especially if they've added any like cooldown recovery stuff on the tree, right? With the nodes that they added. It might not matter, but maybe they're trying to slow down clear speed and stuff, which is fine. Charge bolts, electric field, nerf damage scaling. GG. But they didn't touch the storm cloud thing, right? So now you just play that instead. Actually, no, they did nerf a lot of the orb. What is it called? Yeah, the orbit skill stuff. Didn't that count as an orbit skill? I don't actually know. Bard, please no, dude. Oh, Sean. Pirate technician. Nerf from 8 to 5 per point. Feeling engine. During the stage, nerf from 18 to 12. On top of the unarmed changes, like this is dead, bro. This build is just dead. Like it's actually just dead. I mean, these aren't crazy, right? Like this, it's, but you can't play unarmed anymore, right? Which was like huge damage. So yeah, I don't know. And the problem is like I feel like the other bard skills, at least after once you get to like actual like Inferno and stuff, don't feel that good. Like the what is it called? Like the progeny stuff, right? It's just not like it's okay, right? It's like fine. It's like playable, but it also didn't have the best scaling. I don't know. Okay, Prophet. This is the new class, right? It was pretty weak, no? Well, apparently not. This thing got nerfed. 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 Okay, maybe it was broken. What? Why is everything getting nerfed? Life per point scaling to the life portion, adding diminishing returns in a way. Meteor of Ice, removed explosion tag. Well, yeah, okay. Nerf crazy. Okay, it's just all nerfs. It's just all nerfs. I guess it was broken. I don't know. I didn't see anyone playing this class. I mean, it's some minion thing, right? I don't actually know. Or do you like you transform it? It's like a druid thing, right? I mean, they're still changing stuff, right? Like this isn't final. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. See if there's any new stuff. Well, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't even touched at all. I mean, obviously they're not going to change everything, but I mean, Shield Lancer buffed, right? That's the takeaway. Shield Lancer buffed, Marauder buffed. Um, I guess everyone's just going to play Illusionist because it's unchanged in softcore. Butcher, maybe buffed. Some of the change, like the node swap changes, I'm gonna have to actually look at like a tree for to actually see if it matters. Holy Shock Aura swapped country. Like this thing, I played this Lightning Paladin before, but I couldn't tell you like what this changes. Yeah, white mage nerfed. Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, these are buffs obviously, but from what I heard, Necromancer was literally like borderline unplayable. So I don't know if this changes that. It doesn't seem like anything massive, but the splash could be big, right? I'm not a minion player, but yeah. Yo, hey, I never played the game. Wanted to start with Jotun Orb of Frost, but the nerfs look harsh. Can you recommend some good starters for season 10? They'll also work with endgame. Yeah, the Frost Orb nerfs are a little harsh is a yeah, Yeah, you could say harsh. You could say harsh. You could. It's more than 50% nerf, but yeah. Um, yeah, I wouldn't play Jotun or Frost for sure. This looks like I don't know. I mean, it was really good before, but in order for it to be insanely good, I think you needed a return proj, right? Or did it have it built in or something? I can't remember. I've never played Jotun before because I didn't have it, but it's free now. I guess that's why they nerfed it because it's a free class now. Um, I think yeah. Let me. So I think for endgame stuff, or I guess new stuff. So there's one class that's probably pretty easy. Are you playing softcore trade? Because if you're playing softcore trade, then there's a lot of options. For example, Nomad. Nomad didn't really get changed at all. Uh, the only problem with Nomad is the first few levels, like up until level 16, which is basically Act 1. Act 1 is a little rough on Nomad, but once you get Sandgush, it's like a breeze. And he basically can clear all content, and you can scale it really well because it's arcane damage. So I would recommend looking into Sandgush Nomad as one option. And keep I would Sandgush is kind of like it feels really good. It's really smooth. And Nomad has like really good movement. And from what I can tell, they didn't apply this teleport charge thing to the sand cloud. So I I, I think your clear speed will be pretty nice on Nomad. So Sandgush is good. Um, if you have the game, I would if you look at here, let me see Sandgush Nomad guide Sandfish no what the heck Sandgush I think Graxy has a guide. Um, I played it a little bit, like I tested it, and it felt really good after you get past level 16. Um, and it's unchanged so far in the patch notes. Just let's check. No change. Yeah. So as long as they don't change anything, this isn't going to change. Um, so I can link this video. That's going to have a more comprehensive guide in there. But that's a good option. Um, if you want something melee, Lightning Paladin is always nice. Lightning Paladin is really good. Also scalable, can clear all content. Um, it's lightning, which is I would say arcane and lightning are the two best damage types in terms of like just generally speaking. There's a lot of characters that play with those, so it is. I hesitate to say this because I don't think it matters at all, but more people are going to be playing those damage types, so the items are going to be in demand. But also, more people are going to farm them. So in a trade environment, it's going to be a little bit maybe more expensive to get some of the high end stuff. But honestly, it doesn't matter. Like you can pretty easily self farm a lot of stuff in this game. Um, but yeah, that so Lightning Paladin is really good, and I think let's see, Hero Siege. I think this is the guy. This guy does Paladin stuff. Paladin's really nice. Um, so he has a bunch of stuff. I'll just link his channel as well. If you care about Paladin stuff, he does both. I think he mostly plays Lightning Paladin, but you can also play Arcane Paladin. Arcane Paladin's great if you like screen clear with projectiles and stuff. You can do the Holy Hammer stuff, or not Holy Hammers. What's it called? Well, you can do Holy Hammers. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the hammer thing, or you could also do the Fist of the Heavens thing, which is pretty cool too. It's a little bit harder I feel like lightning is generally easier to do. And also lightning, the thing about Paladin is the leveling is like so smooth. It's like no point in the game do you ever feel weak, to be honest. And for Paladin. So Lightning Paladin's really good. And it's a free class, and so is Nomad. Nomad and Paladin are both free. I'm almost positive. Someone correct me on that, but I'm almost positive they're free. Um, let's see. The other option would be um. Wait, what's going free again? I don't know much about Plague Doctor. Never played Marauder. Jotun's kind of GG. Um, yeah, I mean, if you have Illusionist, Illusionist is good. If you Illusionist is a paid class though, but the Age Proliferation Illusionist is just also really easy, smooth start, very popular. You just hold down the button and teleport. Although they did probably nerf the teleport stuff, so I don't know how that's gonna feel, but it'll probably be fine. The one thing I'll say about Paladin is that the movement is not the best. You do have one movement skill, but it's a little clunky. So you kind of just want move speed and stuff, which is doable. Move speed is doable. Um, yeah, honestly, like for a new experience, I'll say there's not as I don't know if you played PvE before or like other RPGs or something, but it's not as punishing if you're slow, right? Or like it's not like you have to be like uber fast. There's a lot of stuff that's like easy to farm. There's a lot of stuff that you can get yourself fairly reliably, fairly easily. Even some of the like the better items in the game are like targetable. So you can kind of play almost anything um that has decent damage, right? That has like decent damage scaling. Inferno is really where your build's gonna get bottlenecked, which is basically like the end game, right? Um and then the other thing is like it depends on whether or not you want to do bossing content or like just map clear stuff. If you want to do map clear, you just like the main thing is skill is like speed, right? So stuff like Bard was like really nice, which is what I played last time. It had good bossing too because you had like a skill swap for bossing. Um, but Bard's pretty nerfed. Like this skill Pyrotechnician is like Flicker Strike if you played PoE, but it was like so insane for clear because you just literally like teleported around the screen and killing everything and there you didn't have to have a movement skill because your attack was movement, right? And it was basically like if Flicker Strike had like huge AoE on your strikes, right? So it was pretty good for clear. And then you had a weapon swap for a single target. So your single target wasn't like insane. It definitely wasn't like a boss or anything, but it could kill bosses like fine. And you weren't that squishy either because you scaled your life up and stuff, and you had like decent damage reduction and everything. Um, but yeah. So I think Bard is fine for leveling and stuff. I'd just be hesitant to recommend it because one, it's a paid class still, and two, the main clear skill is pretty nerfed, and also you can't go unarmed anymore, which was like a huge part of why Flicker Strike Bard was so good, or like Pyrotechnic Bard, Pyrotechnician. Um, this isn't even all the classes. Let me wait. Hero, Hero Siege Helper, Hero Siege Wiki. Unfortunately, the resources for this game are like kind of outdated. So, like they do have a wiki. I would say Hero Siege Helper is like probably the best thing you can use. Let me link this too. This is the best resource for the game by far, I think. Um, it's actually got like useful info on like items. You can search various items by stats. You can look at like market stuff kind of. Um, yeah, okay, so I mean, if you're looking just to like have a, you know, just a fun experience playing through, then honestly like just yeah, I mean, just to farm more stuff for more expensive builds, yeah. I will say, I think this game is great for taking one character and pushing it, because there's a lot of small upgrades you can make, and it feels pretty good. And also the hero level system is a little punishing for alt characters. So because you have to like you don't share it or anything, so you have to level it up every time on other characters, I believe. Um, so I mean, you can definitely swap your build, and it's not like it takes that much to level. At least in the beginning, like the campaign and stuff is pretty can be pretty fast, especially if you have gear and stuff saved up. Um, yeah. So this website basically has like a lot of just random crap you can look at, right? Like a lot of like random calculators and stuff, like info on quests and things like that. Where is it? Yeah, so like quests, for example, you can go here, you can look at the quests, you can look at campaign quests, Bifrost quests. These will change, to be fair. There's some quest changes that are gonna happen. Um, but this is a nice place if you're looking for like, oh, like let me find an item that has like, that's like a weapon that has like these stats or whatever, right? Uh, yeah, and then you can search like that, right? Or you can literally just type in like, oh, I want like strength, right? Like maybe I want percent strength on an item because I'm strength stacking, but okay, so I can look at like, Amulet of Colosseum. This is the item that I used last league for my unarmed strength stacking bard, right? It's a pretty insane amulet, but um, yeah, so this is pretty useful for that. It also has wiki links, right? Official wiki, item set, boss drops, that kind of thing, right? So you can look again. The wiki's a little dated. I wouldn't take it 100%. But anyway, I was gonna click on the classes so I could refresh. Yeah, so Samurai is really good. Samurai is untouched. That one's also pretty fun. Mainly, what is it called? Explosive Kunai. Yeah, Explosive Kunai. This one's pretty sick. If you like going fast, this class is pretty fast. It also like the Explosive Kunai, you throw it and it like it like forks and explodes and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. The only thing with it is that you have to aim it in the early game because you don't have as many proj. Once you get more proj, you don't have to aim as much. Um, so that's a thing. But like once you get enough proj, you basically throw it and it like clears the screen where you're throwing, like in the direction you're throwing. Basically, and it can definitely scale to nightmare. It's arcane damage. Um, but it's kind of weird though, because if I remember correctly, the it kind of scales a little bit differently. Even though I think it's like an attack, but it or a cast. It's a caster. Technically, I think he's an arcane caster, but the cast speed gets converted to attack speed or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head the exact wording. Anyway, basically, you just care about arcane stats and that kind of thing. Um, so yeah, Samurai's good. He's free. Wait, is Samurai free? I think so. I think Samurai's free. Um, and then what else? What else is good? Yeah, I mean, Demon Spawn can be decent. Demon Spawn's definitely free. Demon Spawn has a couple options actually. Bone Fragments is good, and so is, or is it Bone Barrage? I think it's, I don't know. They're one of the two. I can't remember which one it is. Is like Spark kind of. It just sends projectiles everywhere and they bounce around. It's pretty good. And then there's where'd it go? Where is it? Blood Tendrils too. Good. This one has a couple builds. He's like a caster, more of like a caster with like a pretty good clear. And pretty okay boss damage too, I think. I think if you want bossing, it's more like um I know Marksman was like Giga for like single target bossing. I don't know if that's still the case. Um Demon Slayer's probably okay. Demon Slayer's playable with you can basically get like tons of projectiles as well and like return proj and stuff like that is like built in as well, which is kind of cool. It's not like the strongest thing ever, but it's not bad. It's like playable. Stormweaver and Illusionist were like the two like Giga meta classes, but they're both paid for classes. And Stormweaver did get nerfed. Illusionist is not nerfed, but where is it? This skill age proliferation is if you ever played Torchlight, it's a lot like the Thea, I think is what it's called. Like you send out a beam and it like locks onto targets and it does like an AoE. Um it's pretty good. I've never played it because I don't really like that kind of play style, but it's Illusionist can basically do everything. It's got decent clear speed and it's got pretty good boss damage as well. Stormreaver is like the Giga clear build. You can place now. Stormreaver did get nerfed. Let's see, where is the Stormreaver nerfed? Yeah, so Stormreaver Lightning Surge seems to get hit pretty hard. It got damage, proc chance on like the splits and stuff, like pretty heavily. But Storm, what is it called? Storm or Storm Cloud didn't get touched, and this was also really strong. So you can scale. This is basically like it's like a you cast it and it does like big damage in an AOE. Um, but it's like big AOE, and you can scale the AOE pretty well, and the damage is like really good. So if you like lightning caster kind of stuff, you can do that. Let's see. What are some other good options for stuff? Yeah, honestly, I think those are the main ones. Like, yeah, Nomad, Paladin. Um, and then if you're interested in like getting one of these paid for classes, yeah, Illusionist or Stormweaver are pretty good. Exo's also like playable. I've never played this class, but I know it's like not bad. Uh, I don't know much about it though. Beyond that, yeah, Samurai. I would say Paladin, Samurai, Nomad are all like solid options. None of them got changed pretty much at all. So this did get changed a little bit. Let me see if I can figure out what exactly changed here. They don't, unfortunately, they don't have the skill. Is this? I wish I didn't close the Graxy video lane. He also has a website that's really goaded. Um, yeah. What the? Oh, the freaking, it's the freaking, like, where is that coming from? Yeah, so, yeah, you can check out, this is pretty sick. This is Graxy. He does like YouTube videos and stuff on Hero Siege. This is like an interactive map that shows you like where you can actually target farm stuff. So if you have like an item, like say I want like what is that one called? Avenger, what is it called? Yeah, the Colossal Avenger, right? This is like a pretty OP helmet for like strength stack, right? Fizz damage stuff. And it tells you, okay, you can actually farm it in like these zones, right? There's like guaranteed to farm in these zones at like I'm assuming like Hell Inferno. Yeah, basically in Hell, Hell Plus. So the game works like you clear the campaign and then you move on to like higher difficulties. It's kind of like Diablo, right? But you do gain access to different things at different difficulty tiers. Like there's like satanic zones and stuff that start spawning that are basically like randomly selected zones every 30 minutes that give you like certain buffs and stuff. There's dungeons and stuff you can run that are in these zones, which are generally not worth running outside of endgame. There are also a bunch of bosses and stuff that are exclusive to like the end game, right? And then of course you can farm like certain zones and things like that. And they're making Act 8 free and they're adding a new free Act 9 as well, which is pretty giga. Um let's see. So there's a lot of cool new stuff that they're adding. But anyway, this website's pretty nice because you know, you can see like the builds he recommends. There he's got like a tier list here, other resources, right? Like this is pretty good for new player stuff. Um, if you want to check it out. Sorry for the flashbang. Okay, so let's see. Explain the main difference between Samurai Explosive Kunai and the Nomad Sangush. Like what each of the items are better for. Yeah, so I think let me see. I'll show you like where's here's like gameplay of like Sangush. So Sangush is like the freaking the AoE stuff. If you don't like this on your screen, then maybe don't play it. But basically you can see like you move around the screen pretty fast with this sand cloud thing. You're basically just going around, running around, like clearing stuff. So it's pretty good for like speed clearing, and like rushing like particular mechanics. So for example, this is like a good like if you can see where did it go? Trying to show like some mechanics and stuff. Um, where is it? Yeah. So like here's like a chaos pillar, right? This is like a mechanic in the game, which actually got slightly buffed, but also slightly higher investment strategy now. Um, but like if you're playing a strat where you're just trying to rush these chaos pillars in your map and clear them, this is a good strat, right? Because the chaos pillars spawn like a bunch of mobs around the pillar, and then it drops like particular loot based on the mods on it, right? So it's actually pretty good for that. Because you're basically you can travel fast, so you can run to the mechanic and then you can clear the mechanic, right? And this also goes for like if there's any other. Yeah, here's one, right? Like the Unholy Siege, this thing. This is also another mechanic, which is kind of like you go to it, you activate it, and then it spawns like waves of monsters. It's kind of like a faster ultimatum if you played PoE, except that it's not that hard. And it doesn't have you don't have to like select stuff, but it basically like spawns like a wave. You clear the wave, it spawns another wave. You clear the wave, right? Around this little like in this circle, basically. So it's pretty good for that too because it's semi concentrated, right? Like this thing doesn't have like screen wide clear, but it has like pretty good clear, and you can scale your AOE too. So the thing that this video is for season 9 starter, so it doesn't actually have a lot of the tree stuff in the game. There's actually like a passive tree now, called the Incarnation Tree, um, and it's pretty nice because yeah, you can scale stuff like AOE if you want more clear, right? Um, which wasn't inherent into the item. Now the explosive kunai build. Let me see if I can find gameplay of this. The heroes kunai. Sure. We can put this video. I just want to show. Yeah, here's like a mapping showcase. So explosive kunai is gonna have like more of a screen clear kind of a thing. As you can see, like, well, this isn't not killing anything here. See, yeah. So you see the explosive kunai stuff. So it's like she like shoots prods, right, and they like bounce and explode, right, and chain around like this. So it's got pretty good screen clear, and like you have pretty high move speed, and samurai has like pretty decent mobility stuff as well. So this one's good for if you just want to farm. Basically, the samurai, it's not the best bosser, but it's pretty. It can do bosses, but it's better for like just general like mapping stuff. So if you want to do just like rushing like satanic zones early on, where you're just going through, you have your maxing your magic find, and you're just running around like you know killing everything in the satanic zones to drop like just generic loot on the ground, and then you're picking that stuff up and selling it. Um, it's pretty good for that. But you can scale it pretty hard to do like particular content, like basically any like in-map mechanic is going to be perfectly fine. I'll say maybe not like the new like mechanic that came out last week because that one's kind of rippy, and I feel like you're a little bit squishier on samurai. Um, but most mapping content's doable on samurai, on both of them really. Um, but maybe there's better gameplay. Yeah, this is pretty good. So this is like the unholy siege mechanic that I was talking about here. You can see like it does spawn like certain like mechanics, but then it spawns a bunch of mobs in this particular area. His clear looks a little slow because he's on Hell 5 and he's probably not like the most geared out. He probably rushed to Hell 5, I'm assuming. Um, but like you can see like the amount of coverage that your skill gets is pretty good. Um, so yeah, you can get pretty good clear off this if when you scale the damage up. And Samurai has another option too. Nomad, I would say Nomad's a little bit inherently tankier because you have a little bit more room to invest into non-damage stats, basically, is the main thing with Nomad, right? So Nomad, I think Nomad's pretty safe all around. Um, because you just get good mobility, good clear, um, and like pretty solid single target as well. Like the single target's not bad at all on Nomad. Um, yeah, unfortunately with Nomad though, the only really good build on it is Sand Gush. So there's not much of a transition that you can do to like another build versus like Samurai does have some builds that you can transition to, like the Quick Slash Samurai, which where is it? I wish this showed better info on the abilities, but like this Quick Slash ability, you can scale this Quick Slash ability up to like actually be like your main skill, right? But it does require a little bit more investment, so it's not the best uh uh early game. Uh, and it's pretty cool. You basically just kind of like dash around and you send like clones out and they attack and stuff like that. Um, so I think it depends on you if you want to be flexible or not too. Because Nomad kind of really only has Sand Gush as your main damage skill. And basically, what you'd be doing is you'd be leveling with Eye of Ra, which isn't the best leveling, but like it's playable. And it's only till 16, which is literally just Act 1, basically. So you just gotta have to push through Act 1 a little bit, and then once you unlock Sand Gush, it's pretty chill. Um, the only reason why I say Nomad's tankier is again because like I mean Samurai is not bad, right? And the way you would level Samurai, by the way, is you'd have to start with Blade Barrier probably. I would I think that's probably the way to go. And then you can switch to Explosive Kunai when you get that and get enough points to like make it good. Um, yeah, Samurai does have some decent single target. Like I think Shuriken Throw is actually decent for single target. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that one. I can't remember if it was good or not, but um, yeah, Samurai just doesn't have much in the way of like defense stuff, right? But Nomad, I feel like you're pretty free to invest into what's it called? Like defense if you want it, right? Versus Samurai, it's kind of like you kind of just want to go. I mean, it's not like you're Giga Squishy. Like you saw the gameplay, right? Like it's not like he's dying, and this is like Hell 5, which is like not bad, right? It's like right before Inferno. Yeah, well, this Samurai Showcase here is Hell 5, which is like early endgame, not even like Inferno is like endgame, right? That's like after Hell 5, and Hell 5 is right before endgame. So it's like the hardest content you'll be doing in the first few days, right? It's not particularly hard, but it's yeah. I don't know. I don't know what his gear is like either. Where is it? Oh, I lost the Sangush thing. Let me find it. Yeah, and keep in mind that if they do change stuff, like this could change. Like, don't they're still editing the patch notes, I think. But so far, nothing got changed here. And if anything, they actually this actually is nice. It's like QOL kind of. Sand Cloud is just your movement anyway, so the damage doesn't matter. But the if for some reason you're getting extra procs, it's not gonna like be weird. But yeah, Sangush is really smooth, I'll say, and I can show. Well, let me see. Uh, let's look at the written guide real quick, just so I can look at the gear. Where is it? builds. Nomad Sangush. Yeah, he's got a written guide here, so there's already guide material if you want to follow that. What's nice here is that you can see like the leveling printer if you want. He's got loot filter, although that's going to change as well. So yeah, you can see kind of pros and cons, right? Like he's kind of Graxi's kind of like insane. He does like all this stuff, and he's pretty pretty crazy. He's definitely one of the bigger like Hero Siege people in the scene. But he's got like all the leveling planned out basically. So if you want something easy to follow, this is pretty good. So like I was saying, you level with Eye Raw, right? Which is basically it's like an auto attack that has extra strikes. So if you don't like melee too much, then maybe the first couple levels won't be the best. But like once you get to level 16, then you like I was saying, you can swap to a Sangush. Um, right? So he's got all the trees here and stuff like that, right? But I wanted to look at the gear. Let's see. So for the gear, the good thing about the Sangush is that the gear is not bad, right? Like you can get by with like some pretty easy stuff. Like Sky Song's like really basic rune word shield, right? You can easily put that, right? And it also works as a weapon too, actually. And you can use it as both because it gives you cast rate, right? It gives you skill levels, enhanced damage, like all this kind of stuff. Arcane skill damage, which is good, right? Basically this where is it? Not see if he has. I don't actually know if he has like a breakdown of like. Anyway, yeah, it's an arcane caster. I'm pretty sure. So basically, like you can see here, what you're looking for is just arcane skills, arcane damage, cast rate, right? Life, res, intelligence, energy, mana, right? So it's like gearing is pretty straightforward. You're basically just looking for arcane stats, cast speed, right? Just basically just cast speed, right? And then just like defense stuff, right? With the attributes, you could probably just 50-50 into like int life or maybe a little bit into mana. So the way the attributes work, does he have like an info on the attributes? I don't actually know. I don't see it. I could just load up the game too. Um, but yeah, in-game suggestion. So don't follow this. I would don't look at the tree because it's probably inaccurate because the tree is getting changed pretty substantially. Um, but you can see the way it works is like like Sandgush is here, right? But then it also has like a sub skill tree, right? So you've got recommendations here for what skills to take. This thing basically spawns tornadoes around you. It just does more damage. Um, when you use Sangush. In terms of the gearing, yeah, like I said, it was pretty straightforward. Um, you can get by with some okay gear. You know what I mean? Like literally, all you're looking for is stuff with these stats, basically. Um, so here's like budget fresh 100 is kind of a basic like unique gear, right? Like set gear or something like that, right? So Thor's set, this stuff is really easy to get. It might be a little expensive day one, but it's pretty easy to find. Like you can drop these yourself. Like I dropped multiple of these pieces, like the hat, the chest piece, etc., like on day one myself, right? And I sold them because people wanted them. Um, because it's basically just generic arcane stuff. So you could literally easily just get, the cap, sword, chest armor, gloves, and then boom, you've got like 4 pieces of gear that are like really good. Attribute allocation just about the gearing. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, so it's basically recommending exactly this, which is what I was saying, like split intelligence vitality. And that's what you want. Like energy is mana stuff. And like if you feel like you're struggling with mana sustain, then you can put a little bit of points into energy is basically what he's saying here. Um, and then of course in the end game, like you can opt for all intelligence to go full damage and like just drop your vitality for life, but you can also keep it if you want to be tankier. That's what I was saying about Nomad, right? Is that you have a little bit of flexibility. Your damage is pretty solid, so you can perfectly well clear end game stuff with maintaining some vitality investment as well, so that you're not like giga squishy, right? Um, So yeah, and this is perfect leveling is what you want. You don't want to have it. Most characters can do this split with like life plus damage. It's usually like intelligence or strength, right? Versus and then vitality. Um, but yeah, you want a character that's gonna not just fall over everywhere. So yeah, you can easily just split your points between vitality, which gives you life, and intelligence, which gives you more damage. And then yeah, if you struggle with mana sustain, which honestly it's not that big of a problem, you can put a little bit of points in energy and it'll help. Doesn't really. I don't think you would need it, but it's more of a feel thing. Whether or not you put points in energy on any character is more of a feel thing. Um, let's see. So yeah, basically like early game, it's like pretty chill. Even if you're talking about like extreme budget, like I was saying, Sky Song here is like really easy to get. Earthshaper's Talon also very easy to get. Um, like a lot of this stuff, Spirit Walker's Guide, you'll probably drop this in campaign. Um, right? Like if you drop this in campaign, you can basically use it the whole time. Like gearing for this character is pretty easy. Arcane Caster is pretty straightforward to gear, right? Um, and you can get some pretty nice stuff, right? So if you want like to be tanky, right? For example, here's a good weapon, right? Unholy God's Flail. This is like big life pool, right? And you also get res pen, right? That's what it is, minus 20 to enemy arcane res, which is really good, right? And then you know, decent damage. So this is like a pretty nice early game weapon, right? For example, which is honestly not that bad. You know you could easily farm this in a pretty short amount of time. Um, and it's not like this isn't like the Thor stuff might be a little expensive, like I was saying on day one, but honestly, it's fine. Like you can opt for any of these. And then in terms of the end game, let's see what he recommends. I think end game is going to be pretty solid though because where did version? Let's see weapons and stuff. Yeah, so Celestis is really good. It's like fine. Yeah, Celestial Authorities like Giga. Um, yeah, so you can afford to put this on, right? This is just like a insane shield, right? It's just gonna be this. This will probably be your in-game shield, which is really nice, you know. Or Defender's Justice is also good. It's gonna be cheaper. This one's gonna be super expensive, but um, yeah. So you can put on a shield, which is nice. Um, you know, let's see. Yeah, Soulforge Ring, of course. Um, Not bad stuff. They are adding a bunch of new items and new bosses, so there could be stuff there too to have a look at. Um, this is new boss drops from last league, from like pretty end game stuff, which could be kind of insane. I don't actually know. I've never played with it. Yeah. And you got good, easy like not easy, but like good stuff to progress with. Like these are all like really good in game stuff. In terms of relics, let's see. Like yeah, your relics are going to be really straightforward too with this. You're just going to want like Arcane Globe for sure, probably Orb of Chaos, and then just any life stuff like cheese or like cheeseburger or and then there's also another one called that's just cheese, I think, which is just life as well, or like basically anything that's going to give you just um attributes. Attributes are always good, or damage or life. That's all you really care about. Um, Let me see. Let me look at the relic. Do they have a relic list on you? Items? Not items. That's what I mean by the wiki not being the most helpful. Where's the relics? I don't know. Anyway, um, cheese. There's no burger, cheeseburger. Whatever. Um, yeah. Anyway, most of your gear is gonna be pretty straightforward on this. I'm assuming. I'm assuming the stuff that he was using this showcase to, by the way, is just pretty basic gear. Because this is well, maybe not. It says season 8 footage actually. So this might have been geared out. I don't know. But I'll say like you get this level of clear in campaign, like or at least pretty close to it. Maybe not the same speed, but like your clear is pretty good in campaign. It won't necessarily persist and travel like that as much, without some more point investment, but and levels. But it's gonna be pretty good. I think Sangosh Nomad's gonna be good. It was really solid last time. Um, it's just an all arounder. Like it's just such a solid all rounder, and you do a lot of damage. It's literally one button if you want, and then your second two button for this travel skill. And the good thing about this travel skill is that it goes through walls. A lot of the terrain it can go through, and it can actually travel a long way. And you don't actually have to. There's a couple of ways you can play it. Like you can either travel with it, or you can like send it out and just teleport to it. It's pretty nice. So actually, like speed is like so nice. Like he's doing here. Like you can kind of like follow it and then teleport to it. But this is the kind of speed you can get in campaign too, like with the sand cloud. It doesn't last this long, but you can make it last longer. And like here's the unholy siege I was talking about. Like this is a pretty nice mechanic for farming like specific materials. I think you can farm like tarot cards maybe, which are kind of like div cards. Anyway, you can see the clear can get pretty good. It's not like giga, but it's like pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, yeah, I think Sangush is probably pretty solid. I would say the only thing is, yeah. So the Nomad change here, it says it right here, right? So it's just saying it added physical damage scaling, which who cares, right? You're not doing damage with this skill. And then it says proc spells like spell echo or additional proc now just spawns an additional cloud and no longer teleports you to the cloud. So basically the way it works is like you send out one cloud, right? And then you can teleport to the cloud. But it's saying like if you had stuff that gave you like a spell echo or an action proc, right? Then it would send multiple clouds and it was like teleporting you to the clouds, right? So now it's not going to do that to the additional clouds. So it's just going to be smoother actually. If for some reason you have stuff like spell echo or something, right? It doesn't change anything. This is like a non-change. Like this literally changes nothing. Yeah. It doesn't change anything. In fact, it just makes it if for some reason you're running something like this, it just makes it better. Like it's just not going to be weird because it won't teleport you to the additional clouds. I think is what it's saying. It just don't play it with this. Just don't play it with any kind of echo or anything, which you don't need to anyway. Yeah. So basically, it's unchanged. Like, and it was good last time. It was good. Um, like I'm pretty sure. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure this guy Graxy. I'm pretty sure he started Jotun, and then because it was bugged, he had to stop playing Jotun and he swapped to Sangush or Nomad. So I'm sure like he has pretty good. Yeah. This is when I send the cloud, does my character actually stay where I cast it and is vulnerable? Um. Well, yes, but I wouldn't say you're necessarily vulnerable because generally when you're casting it, like it's, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain how it works, but kind of. But you're not gonna be really vulnerable, I would say, especially because I'm pretty sure you can change it to where you follow it. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, like what he's doing here, or is it like a good? Anyway, it's not that it's not bad. It's one of the best. I think it's one of the best travel skills in the campaign for sure. And like by the time you're at endgame, it doesn't matter. Like you basically like what you do is you clear packs and then you use it to travel to the next pack and you clear it, right? Or you use it to travel wherever you're going. So it's not like anything is going to be on your screen anyway when you're using it, right? But I recommend trying Nomad 1 to 16 because that might put you off. I don't know, maybe not. But I don't think it's that bad, but if you really care about, like, being super fast with it, it's, like, slightly slow, but it makes up for it for the once you get to level 16 because then it becomes, like, one of the faster classes, you know what I mean? So, I don't think it's that bad, but I would say just try it out. It's pretty quick, like, you can literally get to level 16 pretty quick. Um, like, literally less than even if you're new, it would maybe take you less than half an hour. Maybe not, I don't know how new you are. Like, I don't know if you ever even tried playing through the campaign before? No, it's not that bad at all. It's literally not that bad. It's literally just a matter of like, oh, I could clear the act 1 in like, you know, 15 minutes versus like maybe 20, 25. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to be spoiled, then that's cool. Like, I respect that. Um, but yeah, you could always, I mean, if you want to try practice run it, it's pretty easy to just load up and run it. But and like I said, the only thing I would do is maybe just run it to like level like 20 or something just to get the feel for the progression there and the swap from Sanga from Eye of Ra to Sangash. But yeah, it's really chill. It's not that bad at all. And it's really only like I said those first 16 levels, which is like nothing. It's like a fraction, like 0.5% of your playtime, right? Like if that. It's like it's nothing, yeah. It's fine. Um yeah, so I wouldn't worry about it. But the progression's pretty chill. It's just this early levels. It's fine. But yeah, I think Sangash Nomad's pretty good. Yeah, it's just smooth. It's a smooth all rounder character. I feel like you can't really go wrong with it. Um, yeah, and it can get pretty strong too. It can get pretty strong. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye on the patch notes too, though, because they could change something. You never know. Um, I mean, it's what it's like. Yeah, it's over a week, right? So they could definitely change stuff. And I don't know what the new mechanic's gonna be either. Nobody knows, except for the people who played the beta, and they're not allowed to say because they're under NDA. So, we're not gonna know. I don't know if you cared. Typically, it's not. I don't know if it's gonna be worth doing the new mechanic or not because I don't know how much you can invest into it or how good it's gonna be, right? So I wouldn't really worry about that anyway. But yeah, Nomad can literally do basically like any of those in-game map content. You can do mining, crafting stuff because you can easily rush to like ore spots and that kind of thing, right? You want to just like perma rush the mine for ore early on is pretty good strat. Um, I think you could pretty easily push high difficulty stuff with Nomad as well if you get good gear. So like early on, pretty fast because your single target's pretty good. Um, like it's not bad at all. Especially once you get the tornadoes, the sand tornadoes. But yeah, it's pretty chill. But yeah, I mean, just look around too. Like if you see a cooler class, then of course just go with that. Like I think the good thing about this game is that it's not very punishing. Like there's most classes, I say most classes because there are some classes that aren't playable. But most classes are playable in some way. And like most of the gear isn't too drastically different. Like most characters that use a shield are gonna want like Celestial Authority, right? So you can always like swap your gear over to a new character too if you wanted. Um, so it's chill. Yeah. I wish there was better resources for this game, but they're not the best, unfortunately. Uh, yeah, like I don't even know. Like this literally doesn't even have Bard on it or Prophet. And those came out. Bard came out a while ago. Like that's how outdated this wiki is. Yeah, but you can use the Hero Siege helper too. It's not bad. Here's the hero level tree, by the way. They actually added this. I never saw this before. This is like your passive tree in Hero Siege. Except that you start in the middle and you can go anywhere. So can I hide this? Yeah, I can. Yeah, so for Nomad, then it's like maybe you go for like that damage or something. Res. Maybe like this kind of thing. Early on, I don't know. They did nerf res on the tree though. Which is a little unfortunate, but it's fine. Yeah, I think you're basically gonna be living in like this area of the tree on arcane stuff. Maybe this way's like this might be okay actually, some of this stuff over here. You don't really care about projectiles though as much. This is kind of nuts though. You can scale mana. 1% increase skill damage per mana. Ton of mana. You could do mana stack on him too, probably actually. Probably not as OP as on White Mage, but it's still probably pretty good. I don't really I don't really know too much about this part of the tree because I didn't so that's not where I play mostly, but I'm more of like this area, strength stuff, but yeah, so you can check this tree out if you want. It's not as good as like POB or something, but it'll give you an idea of what it looks like. If you don't want to play the game beforehand, but you do want to do a little bit of prep and stuff, you can look at that. The way that hero levels work, so is that you have to get to level 100, and then you start gaining hero levels, and each hero level is a point on this tree, right? So and hero levels are infinite. So technically, you could theoretically get the whole tree if you wanted to, but obviously that takes like an like unreal amount of time, like unreasonable amount of time, right? And they're changing this tree. They're adding freaking 600 nodes, right? They said 600 nodes. Holy 600 new nodes. So that who knows what's going to change there. But the other thing too is that a lot of the nerfs, where is it? General? No. Where do they put the mechanics? Yeah, here's the incarnation. So a lot of these changes don't really impact Nomad as much either. Like the AoE nodes don't really matter that much because I don't think you really got to them anyway. A lot of the AoE nodes are like over here. So I don't think you really cared about the AoE nodes anyway. Even though you do like AoE, it just doesn't matter that much. And then the other thing is, let me close out these windows. Clicking on them. Yeah, a lot of this other stuff is like kind of whatever. Orbital spells. Pretty sure. Maybe the sand tornadoes count as orbital. I don't actually know. So that might impact a little bit, but again, like they're gonna add a bunch of stuff. But a lot of these changes aren't that big of a deal for that particular build. So yeah, it's not too bad, honestly. Yeah, I would 100% though follow the Graxi set skill if you're trying to figure out like what skill layout you want or like what skill setup, then you definitely check this out. Definitely look at this because he knows a lot better as to like what to put points in. But yeah, basically like it walks you through like every like level breakpoint basically, and it's like okay, you want you know at level 40 you want 20 points in Sangush, you want 1 point here, 1 point here, right? And the reason why you take a lot of these points is just for synergies, right? Or just to travel to other points, right? So if you look at level 70, it's like okay, we have 6 points here. This one is just like a travel point basically. 20 points here. Um, yeah, it's like Diablo, right? Where you get like synergies for points that you put in other skills, right? And then you also have subtrees. If you click on this little plus button, it'll take you to the subtree for Sandgush, for example, right? And then this will have like nodes, right? So this is like various, like this might be like Arcane Break or something, or like I think that's Arcane Break, right? Like, you know, you get extra tornadoes, you know, um potentially like AoE or something. Can't remember exactly what they do, but yeah, you get the idea. So you can easily see like what your swap is going to look like. It'll be at level 16, and basically you'll just want to have 1 point in all of these, a bunch of points in the Sand Gush, and that's it, right? And you can freely swap your points around. There's no penalty. There's no respec cost, at least for the skill points. There is a respec cost for the Incarnation Tree. Uh, you know, see here he's recommending the thing that I was showing earlier with the Incarnation Tree. Like this is like just like classic like spell damage, or like magic damage start. Basically, you just click this, and you come up here, click intelligence, right? Like this is just pure damage because it's all just magic skill damage, magic skill damage, magic skill damage, and your Sandgush stuff is magic damage. Magic like arcane specifically is like the element, and then but it's like magic as opposed to like you know, this physical damage kind of stuff, right? Um, it's like spell versus attack in like PoE. But yeah, so you can literally just click those like for your first levels. You probably click this as well, so that you get free res. Maybe not this one. Depends on your gear. This basically kind of like shortcuts your res a little bit, but it reduces your cap, right? So it gives you plus 60 all res, but then it makes your cap 50. So it just makes it so if you're struggling to get res on your gear, then you can just click this for a little bit of extra. And these just give you res. Although they did nerf the res on the tree, but I mean it's still valuable, right? Um, but basically, as long as you're res capped and you have a decent life pool, and you're kind of chilling. And like worst case, you can always click some life nodes too, right? Like you can always just click these if you want more life, right? It's not the best use of points, but it's fine. Like it's fine, you know. Yeah, you can scale spell crit, you can scale like cast speed, right? You have a lot of scaling vectors for Sangush as well, which is pretty nice. I'm pretty sure, does it work? Oh, it tells me, wait, let me look at the tags. I don't know how accurate this is though. The annoying part. It doesn't even give tags, bro. Yeah, I need to I don't know. Maybe I'll do some practice runs and stuff. I don't know how much time I have though. I don't know. I'm not probably gonna play super crazy on this update. Might just play it chill. I might play hardcore as well. Not sure yet. But there's some interesting stuff over here. I haven't really looked too much on this side of the tree. I don't think you care about elements that much. But what you'll be able to do in the update, by the way, is that you'll be able to search, like, what is it called? Sand, gosh, right? You'll be able to click this, right? You'll be able to do this, and then it'll highlight all the nodes that apply to the skill. That's a change that they said in here. Uh, yeah, here you can now search incarnation nodes with the name of the skill, right? And it highlights nodes which are compatible, right? So that'll be huge actually for like new, uh, like, or honestly anyone playing a skill that they've never played with before, right? You just type in the skill and you can see exactly what. So it'll probably like highlight, you know, these nodes, cast speed nodes, right? Uh, it's not a cooldown, so it doesn't really matter about the spell haste, but you know, it'll highlight like any of the AoE stuff. It'll highlight like any of the damage that you can click. So that'd be pretty nice. So literally just do that if you want. Like once you get to level 100 and you're like, where do I go on the hero tree? You just type in your skill name. Um, yeah, and it does have some auto pathing too, so you can like see if you like hover over certain stuff, it'll tell you like the optimal route on the tree and everything, so you can like kind of check that out, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Do they have node names on here? What is Agile Wizard? Is that this? No, that's Magistrate Intellect. Yeah. Is that the cast speed now? Oh, here. Okay, that doesn't matter at all. I mean, yeah, the negative resist stuff is going to impact everyone, is what it is. But yeah, should be cool though. I mean, these are a lot of changes for this patch, so I think it'll be good. They're basically just smoothing out everything from the last patch, which the last patch was massive. So fair enough. And this one is going to have more stuff to do because more campaign means more zones, even in endgame, because you can replay the same zones with higher difficulties and stuff. That's actually pretty huge. I think overall looks pretty good. Hopefully all these performance things are real and not just them saying that it's there and then it doesn't actually work. But we'll see because that'll be pretty big too. Um, I mean, this could be huge, could be really good for farming. I'm assuming a lot of these new nodes are for the new mechanic from last league. Um, maybe they'll put the new mechanic from this league on the tree too. I don't know because 100 is quite a lot. I'd be curious to see what they do with that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It should be good. I think it's cool. I think all the changes are cool. I'm kind of curious to try Shield Lancer though. It's not free right now, so I can't really test it, unfortunately. But these changes look fairly good. Marauder could be sick too. Might try one of these two classes because they're fresh, newly free to play. So I'm definitely leaning towards one of these two, especially since they nerf Bard. And yeah, I think that's like my current thought process with that. I mean, who knows what farms are going to be good and that kind of thing, right? So it's kind of hard to say from that perspective. Yeah, Paladin's also really good for new players, by the way. Um, it's got pretty smooth progression. Probably one of the smoothest in the game, Lightning Paladin. You have to play a different skill from level 1 to like 25 or something. To 25? Than your end game skill, but honestly the early skill is also quite strong, so you pretty much one-shot stuff like from really early on in terms of like trash mobs and things like that with like no problem. Even Arcane Paladin's really good, but I think you level with the Lightning Paladin anyway, even on Arcane. You were Paladin. Yeah. So you want to end up playing Lightning Fury, but you have to start out with Vengeance. But Vengeance isn't bad at all. Like it feels pretty good in early levels, and you also get Thunder Shield, which is really nice. A little bit of damage reduction. You get stuff like free freaking attack speed and all this kind of stuff. Your mobility is the only downside on this, I think. Yeah, and Arcane Paladin's also pretty good. You got some healing options. Recovery is pretty easy to solve. Damage scaling's pretty solid. Unfortunately, they've nerfed Fist of the Heavens a few times, but it's still okay. It still can carry you to like through hell, I think. It might not be the best for Inferno, but you can always swap to Holy Hammers or Lightning Paladin. Lightning Paladin can for sure clear pretty much all the content. And it's literally untouched. Actually, let me see. Is there a Paladin Knight on here? No. Oh, there is. Lightning Fury Paladin. What was this change? Holy Chakra, swap concentrated aura node with rupturing lightning. The Holy Shock aura. I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters. The main thing you care about on the Holy Shock aura is lightning break. That's pretty much it, right? Like that's the main thing, it's just a lightning break, I think. And like a little bit of damage. So as long as you can click the lightning break still, then you're chilling. I don't actually know what the names are for the nodes though. I have to look at that. Either way, they should be pretty minor. Maybe you change your pathing on this a little bit, but it's fine. They kind of killed casting though. Like a lot of these guys, like Stormweaver got pretty heavy nerfs. White Mage got honestly deserved nerfs. This thing was too strong. Yoden got blasted, bro. That's actually crazy. These are a lot of buffs or a lot of nerfs too for this new class. I have no idea if this new class was good. I'd be really curious to see. I think bouncing grenades was already decent though. This sounds pretty cool though. This change. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of seeing what other changes they post. I don't think it's finalized yet because they haven't even posted it on the Steam page. So it'll probably get finalized soon. I would imagine within the next few days. But it seems like they're being pretty close with info on this update in terms of like what's happening because they barely put out any info. Honestly, I didn't even know when this update was happening until this stuff got released. Wait a second, they just changed the release date, by the way. August 21st, and then on this page, TBD. Is that real? No, it still says August. I wonder why maybe they didn't update that one. Aim mid-August, but then here it says 21st. I'm assuming this is accurate. I don't actually know. I didn't even notice that actually. Because here it says August 21st and here it says TBD mid-August. I'm assuming this date is accurate. Because I'm pretty sure it's accurate. But yeah, overall takeaways, I think there's a ton of changes. I think the farming changes are really interesting for the end game for the what's it called? The codexes. Where is that? Where's the codex stuff? Mechanics. The codex changes are pretty interesting. We're gonna have to see how this plays because it's like theoretically codexes should be more valuable now, but they should also not feel bad to run yourself. which is interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a feel thing. I think people are just gonna have to play and find out. And then the incarnation tree's got a bunch of random changes. That honestly, the new nodes are really what I'm curious about. 600 new nodes is kind of nuts. Wait, there's new item changes? No, I don't think so. Yeah, the item changes or whatever. There's some pretty important changes though here. Celestial Authority nerf, like yeah, there's a couple pretty good items here that are pretty sizably affected, but I think it's fine for the most part. This is cool. I think it'll feel pretty fresh, to be honest. Overall, because you got new act, which means new zones to farm. They've moved some of these chase items to those new zones, right? So, or even if you've never played Act 8 before, right, that's free now, so you can play that, which is pretty cool. Hopefully the performance stuff works out. That'll be sick. Same with the server stuff. And the monetization is going in a good direction too. Hopefully they keep making more classes free until there aren't any more paid classes, and then you can just kind of play whatever you want. So I think that's definitely a big like deterrent, right? Is that they've got like paid classes and they had like a whole act that was paywalled, but now that's gone. So now it's just the paid classes, and of course, I mean they have to monetize somehow. So change the stash monetization is like same as PoE. I think it's fine, and like skill MTX and like character MTX and all that, pretty chill. Yeah, it should be cool. I don't know. We'll have to see. I might test some stuff and then decide on what to play. But I'm definitely leaning towards Marauder or Shield Lancer, I think. But also, I'm probably gonna play hardcore. I don't know. I'll have to do a couple practice runs and see if I really feel like playing hardcore. Because some of the changes they did say they changed monster aggro. Where was it? And like, where did they say that? I swear they said that somewhere. Set of mechanics. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. That could be interesting. Also, if you just get unlucky, you just get like double proc on this with like massive packs when you're like really low level and you just die. This is huge though. This thing killed me a couple times. More than a couple times. So that's big. Yeah, overall pretty chill. Alright. I think that's about it. I mean, that's kind of all the info we have, I think, right? Like there's literally nothing else except for these passionate. Like I think everyone's basically like NDA'd, so they can't. The people who played the beta, they can't really say anything about the new content or like changed classes and stuff like that. But honestly, there aren't that many class changes. Like honestly, I was expecting more, but maybe not. I mean, I felt like the game balance wasn't terrible before. Like there was a lot of viable stuff. I don't know why they gutted freaking unarmed. That's tragic. But whatever. Fine. Play something new. Yeah, this sounds stupid. This sounds crazy. This could be huge. I don't know how big this changes, but it sounds really big. Like bouncing now unleashes AoE hitbox. If you can get multiple overlapping hitboxes in a shotgun, then that'd be huge for single target or just general clear. But I've never played this skill, so I don't actually know how good it was before. This might only make it like playable and not like insane. And these changes sound pretty nice. It's nothing huge either, but I think Shield Lancer was already pretty decent. Yeah, I'm thinking Taking one of those two classes myself. Or Paladin. Paladin's pretty free. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was announced as August 21st. I mean, it does say it here. ARPG timeline. That's the one that shows all the ARPG releases. Yeah. It should be August 21st. I don't know. Maybe they just haven't changed it here on the other pages. But it's on the front one. It's on the featured one. So I'm assuming that's right. It's a pretty cool game though if you never played it before. I think it's like you can easily get like a week of fun out of it, no problem. It's actually pretty good. And it's only gotten a lot better, I think. Like the season 9 thing was like massive change to the game. Makes it much more interesting, I think. Still a little sad that the roguelike version of the game is just gone, but that's long gone. But yeah, it must be August 21st. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I'm gonna play on launch anyway. We'll see. I might be too busy. I've been having fun with PoE 2, SSF hardcore, but yeah, I think I'm good on that. I'm assuming there's gonna be a PoE PoE 2 event league soon because they said they were doing those. I'll probably wait for that to keep playing that. I'll probably try this out for like a week or so, or however long I feel like. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go eat some dinner in 7 p.m. dinner time. But yeah, hopefully it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be cool. I might do some more. I might do like one more video about or like stream about my plans, but like what I plan to start once we get more if we get more patch note changes or something or more info or anything. Yeah, bro. Thanks for chatting. Um 1 a.m. holy. Go sleep. Go to sleep. All right. Yeah, take care. I will yeah, that's true. There isn't much content on the game, which is kind of sad. I feel like the game's actually got a lot of depth to it. It's like pretty decent. There's quite a bit of content. It's not like PoE or anything, but I mean it's there. So yeah, I might do some stuff. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. We'll see. All right. Well, that's about it. I'm a peace out.